Hello, folks. This is Keith Henry. I'm here with the blocking duo of Kendra Irigbe and Kandace Thomas. Ladies, 149 of the 178 and a half blocks were off both of you. Talk about that threat you all present at the net and how you all going to proceed to be a threat to these opponents.
Well, as you can see, we're pretty tall, so I would like to believe that we make a pretty big statement when we're both up there to get in their faces and get some blocks in there. But I mean, look, it's gonna be a good year. Some more blocks.
Last year, you all were one game away from celebrating on this court. And of course, at the press conference, Coach Preston says that this year is going to be unfinished business. That's going to be the motto. Talk about that experience.
Well, I mean, one game away kind of sucked, but we're coming back this year with a vengeance, so it should be really good.
I mean, like she said, it was kind of hard to be like right there and then have it snatched from under your feet. So that's what makes it even better this year, that we know what that loss feels like. So we know how to come back harder than we did last year. So.
Talk about the records you all have set, and even in the tournament, you all haven't won. Coppin State hasn't won a tournament game in years before last year. Swept Bethune, and then made a major mark by beating Florida A&M. No Coppin team has taken a game from Florida A&M, much less beat them before. You all did it last year. Talk about those stepping stones.
Yeah, well, when we beat FAM, I was pretty excited, and that's what kind of got me. I felt like I was too excited for Hampton. Like, okay, well, we beat FAM. Okay, well, next is Hampton. We already played them. We already beat them. So it's like, not to say I look too far ahead to the future. It was just kind of, it gave me a chance to relax after that win. So.
Yeah, I mean, beating FAMU was pretty insane. It's like one of those things that you don't think is what happened, and it happens. You're like, oh my gosh. And then we had to play the next game. I feel like we were still like up in the air, excited, but this year will be different.
You all have a very tough schedule. Obviously, out of conference, you all go to Arizona, which is pretty much a highlight of the regular season. Y'all got down Tulane, and the funny thing, UMBC is there too. Talk about the challenges that this out-of-conference schedule is going to present.
Well, last year when we played University of Washington, I feel like it was a really good experience for us to play that high-level volleyball because it showed us the type of players we are. We could hang with these number one, number two, teams like that. Why couldn't we be this team in the MEAC? You know what I mean? And I feel like it's going to be another good experience. And it's close to home, so.
Yeah, playing Washington is definitely a good experience. It makes you have to play bigger and better, and it makes you have to play a better, a more upper level of volleyball, which is really good going into conference.
Speaking of going into conference, obviously Hampton would be your target, but everybody else wants to be where you all are. So now instead of being the hunters, you all are the hunted. Talk about that challenge, that unique challenge coming into this season.
I mean, I feel like the higher up you go, the more haters you have, period. And it's certain teams, it should just be like, okay, let's get in, let's take care of business, because we know the level that we can play to, and we know not to play down to certain teams' level. So, I mean, although it's going to be a challenge, I feel like the biggest challenge is keeping us playing to the highest level that we can and not playing down to the teams in the MEAC.
Yeah, I mean, of course we're going to have a target on our backs, but we're in here for only one mission, and that's to win the championship. And we just focus on our goal, and we should be just fine.
This team gets along so much, family, cohesive unity. Talk about how that has been key to this team's success, especially the last few years.
I mean, if you don't have a team that's for one goal, you're not going to go anywhere. So we all have this one goal in our head, and that pretty much is what fuels us. I mean, none of us are from around here, so we're pretty much our own family.
And that's, like she said, to come so far, like I'm from Cali, she's from Washington, we have Puerto Rico, and to come so far into such a place that you haven't been before, to have, you know, your team have your back on the court and off the court, it's like you said, like a family, and it feels really good. And I feel like that's a good foundation to have, because we need each other when we get on the court, and when we see, okay, she's not having a bad day, let me see what I can do to help her, you know what I mean? So it's always good to have that family like structure on a team.
Team feeds off of their coach, and you know how competitive the coaches are here. Just talk about that relationship you all have with your coaches, and just how y'all feed off of that energy. She has limitless energy.
Like, I know for me, just anybody jumping and cheering and being as excited as they are would get me hyped up. So I know it helps me in the court. Because sometimes I get a little blah, but then I'm like, okay, let me get into it. So, I mean, yeah, it helps a lot, and it's also really fun.
Yeah, going off of what she says, like when they get hyped, that kind of makes us hype, and like they want this so bad, and we want to do this for them. So I like her inspiration.
You have fans out there. You have that turn up squad. You can't ignore that. Talk about this turn up squad and how they seem to help you guys just get that extra.
They're definitely a part of the team.
Yes,
Turn up squad is definitely a part of the team, and I feel like sometimes when they're there, it feels like a teammate is missing, kind of. You know what I mean? When they're not there, excuse me, it feels like a teammate is missing. And it's just really cool to have such support like that. You know what I mean? It's and also like a family. Like we're like I feel like all of us are like a family. Turn up squad, volleyball team, family.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, especially if you're not in your own gym and like it's a whole bunch of other people's fans, then you hear our fans are like, okay, I can do this. Like, it's nice and settling.
It's so good that it's only like 6 of them. I swear they make so much noise. They're louder than some of the other people, like the full gym.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So.
Well, last question. I mean, this season gonna be different. Just talk about, you got new people coming in. Talk about them coming in here and how they're gonna help you all get to that goal.
I mean, well, everyone has pretty much a key role on our team, and like the new girls that are coming in are really gonna build to that and be able to make us achieve our goal of a championship. I know Coach does a really good job of recruiting good players, so it should be really exciting.
Yeah, and I feel like they already like mesh right in. Like, it hasn't been any bumps. Like, they already jump right in. And I feel like they're going to be a great asset to our team.
You heard them, folks. Middle block and duo, Kandace and Kendra. You'll see plenty of them later this season. Take care. Thanks a lot, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you.